Mary Grace Cruz. Would you need a review of the literature but you don't know how to get started? So don't worry, that's what I'm here for. Let's start! So what is a literature review? It is a search and critical summary of what has already been researched related to your chosen topic area. May come from books, scholarly articles, and other sources, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods, and gaps in the existing research. So why write a literature review? Why is it so important? A literature review is an essential part of the research process. Some of the important functions of a literature review are that it helps you to familiarize yourself with the existing knowledge about the topic. It also allows you to provide your reader a critical summary of what you've found, which shows how your research fits in. And also, for you to find out what is the missing gap from the current knowledge to show that your own research will contribute something new. There are many different types of a literature review you may encounter or be required while in graduate school. The literature review can range from being selective to comprehensive. They can also be a part of a larger work or a standalone assignment. A course assignment is an example of a standalone assignment and a selective review. This focuses on a particular section of the literature and a topic and constitutes the entire work. A thesis or a dissertation is an example of a comprehensive review and is part of a larger work. Most researchers start with a selective review of the literature to set the framework for the research published in the paper. This is also part of introduction. Other literature reviews are intended to be more comprehensive and also stand alone. They show that the whole article is dedicated to review the literature. A review of the literature that introduces an article may look this way. Here is the literature review and is part of the introduction in this article. You can recognize that the introduction contains a review of related literature as it addresses relevant work already published on this topic. This kind of in-depth reviews are an ideal starting point for research into a topic. And here's an example of a standalone literature review article. The title of the article indicates that this is a literature review on the subject. Not all review articles, however, will have the term literature review in their title. At this point, you might be wondering, how do I actually review the literature I find? In choosing your topic, you should select something you're curious about or something that interests you. You'll be spending a lot of time with it. Also, you have to explore your topic by means of your textbooks, reference books, and articles, and by consulting your professor. Another one, you have to be open for modification on your research question, because at this stage, you might discover the need to tweak your topic or the scope of your research as you gather further information. Before searching for the relevant literature on your topic, you can start by writing a list of keywords for your subject. As example, our topic is social media's influence on the body image of the younger generation. So our list of keywords may be mental health, body image, teenager, social media, Facebook, Instagram. Now, if your list of keywords is ready, you can now go to your favorite databases and search for the relevant literature. When searching, you may find primary sources and secondary sources. Primary sources are those first-hand information. Examples are empirical scholarly works such as research articles, clinical reports, case studies, etc. Secondary sources are those publications where authors cite the sources of others. Examples of these are theses, dissertations, reviews, encyclopedia, magazine articles, almanacs, government reports, etc. There are several databases you can choose from, such as EconLit for economics, Inspect for physics, engineering, and computer science, Medline or PubMed for life sciences and biomedicine, Project Muse for humanities and social sciences, Science Direct for scientific and medical journals, Philippine National Library, your university's library catalog, and Google Scholar. I'm going to show you tricks to quickly narrow down your search and discover even more relevant papers. You can use these things called Boolean operators to help us refine the search. When you want to find sources that contain more than one keyword, you can use A and B. For example, social media and mental health. To find sources that contain one of a range of synonyms, you can use OR. For example, Generation Z or teenagers or adolescents. For example, if you're searching for an apple, not the tech giant, you can just add the minus sign. And you should evaluate your sources. When you find a source that you think might be important, make sure you read the abstract. You'll get a glimpse of what the study is all about and determine if it's related to your topic. When you have identified a relevant source, review its bibliography and scan for the source titles that tend to apply to your topic. Take note of frequent citations to identify the most significant articles on your topic. If you keep reading the same authors, books, or articles, best to check them out. You can also check about how many times an article has been cited on Google Scholar. If the number is greater, the article is likely to be significant in the field. So now, let's look at what it means to review the literature. In a most general way, this means that you are gathering and reading all the related papers and other literature on your topic. You would like to offer an outline, but also identify main concepts and important papers. Here, you can start by defining and summarizing each article as you read it. Then you can start making associations by comparing and contrasting the articles. You will also need to assess, analyze, and organize. While reviewing the literature, you would discover important relationships between publications, such as major themes and important concepts, as well as critical gaps and disagreements. Your aim must be not only summarize but also integrate and synthesize what you find in the literature into something new. Ideally, you should build your own conceptual map or outline of the literature on your topic. Here is an example matrix to guide you on how to organize your references and key concepts in making a literature review, allowing you to smoothly evaluate and analyze the data gathered. This sample synthesis matrix can be your guide to help you record the main points of each source and help you see how they are related to each other. Then you can start thinking on how you combine the separate elements to form a whole. So now, let's do it. Let's write the literature. Conceptually, the literature may look like this. Sometimes, there are main works that have been written on the subject, and then others later that develop on them. Such later works appear to expand or contribute in some way to the original articles. Essentially, literature is a constantly growing network of scholarly works that communicate with each other. As you do your own work, you will start to understand the connection in this evolving web and how your own ideas connect to it. When you read and assess articles, you come to recognize how they are related and how they build the concept that the authors say. Then you begin formulating your own answer or contribution. This process, discovering relationships in literature and creating and integrating your own ideas to it, is what enables you turn a collection of articles into a cohesive literature review. When working with literature, You will read and critically evaluate articles and books and see what is important or out of scope, and evaluate arguments for strengths and weaknesses. It is necessary to look for connections between publications when working with literature. Let's assume, for example, that as you read, you discover three main concepts that are significant in literature and applicable to your study. You will then figure out whether the literature, that is, the material of individual articles, books, and other publications, applies to the concepts you have learned. Many articles can be applicable to a variety of concepts. Others can refer to only one concept. What is essential is that you establish and provide your own literature organization and interpretation. And when you write a summary of your literature, you will end up with a paper that is structured by the concepts and connections that you have discovered and formed based on your reading and learning. Your analysis will not only cover what has been written on your subject, but will also include your own ideas and thoughts. You're going to tell a particular story that sets the context and shows the importance of your work. Researching and writing a good review of literature is a demanding and often overwhelming process, so do not be hesitant to receive assistance from your mentor or instructor, your campus writing center, or your librarian. So now, I hope you already know how to write your own literature review. Thank you for watching. Bye!